That's way better than the Essex Christmas package that you get at Walmart. Have you guys heard about this? It's like pasties, a strip pole, chewing tobacco, and pliers to pull those pesky teeth out. Like, I don't hate a lot about the season. I don't hate a lot about the Christmas, New Year's kind of thing. But the one thing I hate is the day after Christmas when I'm like fat, full of food, is that one asshole who's running down like Route 1 or 24 in his brand new running shoes. I'm like, you dick. Like, are you serious? Like, I'm driving in my car like barely alive. Like, my stomach's hitting the steering wheel, and this one guy's like, hey, you got new shoes for Christmas? It's not like I get new weights for Christmas or something in the street like, oh, it's a deep burn, you know? Like, hey guys, look, it's a deep burn, it's great, my biceps look awesome. Or it's not like I really like, I got my bike story all revved up and everything for this whole show, and does anybody ride motorcycles in here? Can I see anybody? A single person in the crowd, do you ride a motorcycle? The woman in the back of the room says she rides a motorcycle. Well, here we go! But, no, my favorite shows are, like, Sons of Guns is one of my favorite shows. Does anybody watch that? Yeah! They make guns, but what they really do, they don't make new guns, they kind of just, like, put older guns together and they call it something new, like, we're gonna weld these two bazookas together, and it's called the double bazooka. Or, like, they actually, I mean, they did this on the show. They put 3 shotguns together. They're like, we're going to put the shotguns into a machine gun format, and we're going to call it the mashotgun. And it's just 3 shotguns that rotate really fast and shoot in the same direction. And they actually did this too. They put a taser gun onto a shotgun, and it's like, what sadistic asshole would, like, subdue someone to the ground with a taser gun, then while they're laying on the ground, miserable, being shocked, be like, fire! Fuck you, dude! Who the hell does that? But, and I do that with TiVo. Does anybody have a DVR or TiVo? I watch the most terrible TV now that I can record it. Like, does anybody watch Wife Swap? You ever seen that? No. Like, the first time I saw it, I was like, Wife Swap, this is a terrible show. And then like 10 episodes later, I was like, Wife Swap, this is my favorite show. It's just bad. I always brag about safety. They would brag about the safety school that they went to. And I was like, I would brag about school too if I didn't pass the 6th grade and then just like left and then took school later. And they'd be like, man, you always got to keep 3 points on the ladder. You always got to keep 3 points on the ladder. It's either 2 hands and a foot or 2 feet and a hand. Okay, guys. You definitely know you're watching way too much porn when you start recognizing like the actors' names in it. Like you're just too far gone, you're too far into it. But the step right before that is when you realize that there's character overlap in porn. Where you're like, wait a second, she can't be a sexy MILF. She was a pregnant teen. And you're like, Matt, teenagers can be MILFs, alright? Yeah, if you're from Dundalk, like. Dundalk. 16 and pregnant with my 3rd kid, yeah. But this one guy, we were digging this hole, it's like 40 feet deep, and we were digging with an excavator. And they're like, somebody's got to get down there. And they didn't feel like picking up a ladder. So they put this guy in the bucket, and they sent him down there. And I was like, dude, we're going to get in trouble. This guy doesn't have a hard hat on, doesn't have any safety equipment. Like, we're going to get in trouble. And this guy was like, I got this, dude. And he walks over and he goes, hey, Aaron, you feel safe down there? And he looks up and he goes, it always does. Mostly of the time. Like, what the hell are you talking about? But once we got to the bottom of that pit, we were supposed to be working on this pipe that was down there. And it turns out the entire hole that we dug for 4 weeks was 2 feet to the right of where we needed to be. So I crawled back up the ladder and I asked this guy, I was like, what's your deal, man? Like, why are we off course? You're the instructor here. You're supposed to be doing this right. He literally flips the drawing upside down and goes, oh, shit. But this guy that I worked with, he would say the dumbest shit all the time, but he wanted you to ask him what it was. He would never just say it out loud, so he would be like, ha-ha! And just look at me like I was going to ask, and I would never want to ask him, and then he'd be like, ha-ha! And look at me, and finally I'd be like, what, Billy? And he'd be like, skinny girls hate me, and fat girls are scared of me. And then why? And I was like, Billy, why are skinny girls, why do they hate you and why are fat girls afraid of you? And he goes, skinny girls know I don't want nothing to do with them. Fat girls are afraid of me because they know what I'll do to them. I just like to be happy. I like to laugh. I like to have fun all the time. All my friends know that. And it's like, sometimes I look at babies and I'm just like, you're just shitting yourself. And it's the greatest time ever. Like, you're just having a ball. But then I think, like, what if babies are really smart and they're really like, yeah, you're cleaning that up, idiot. Like that's why they're so happy. 8mm. Anybody seen that before? Nick Cage is in that and every other movie too. But he's in that movie and there's this scene where he like identifies this missing teenager by a picture of her when she's 7. I'm like, I'm white. I should be able to identify other white people, like, no matter what age they are. But, like, the worst scenario for me would be is if I was, like, a detective in, like, a missing Asian person's case. Sorry. And they were like, you gotta find my son. I'd be like, oh, shit. Like, is this your son? No? All right. Is this your son? No. Your son's dead. I can't find him. We looked into it. He's dead, I'm pretty sure. A little story for you, though, real quick, before I get out of here. I like to be kind of private with my sex life, and I realize the irony of that while I'm on stage with a microphone. But, so let me rephrase. I like to be private about my sex life to just my parents. And so, like, in high school and middle school, I would talk in the laundry room because it was the quietest room in our house, or so I thought. And I was super suave when I was a teenager, so bear with me with this conversation. I was like, yeah, we've like licked and touched all over each other, right? Yeah. But we haven't had sex yet, right? Yeah. Well, maybe we can change that. Oh, shut up. And then just then my mom comes around the corner and she's like, hey, what are you up to? And I'm like, play it cool. I'm like, nothing, just talking to my buddy. I'll probably go to bed soon. She's like, all right, good night. She walks away. I'm like, oh, fuck, that was close. And she comes back and she goes, oh, but you're being a little loud, so maybe we can change that.